There you go. All right, y'all. How y'all doing? Thank you once again for clicking on today's video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 3,000 Dutch farms destroyed. Farmers plan the biggest protest yet. So we're going to be talking about that in today's video. Also, at 6:30, we are going to be live streaming another article.
Yeah.
And that's going to be about the CBDC.
Yeah,
pretty sure.
central bank digital
And
currency.
how that's going to be the end of human freedom. So stay tuned. That will be posting or going. We'll be going live at 6:30. So right after this stream, we'll be going into that.
We're simulcasting on our backup YouTube channel as well as on our Rumble channel. So thanks everybody at Rumble. Thanks everybody that's on the backup channel.
Look at that, 9 people. Boom.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. And we're going to jump right into the first article here. And I want to thank the Flying Dutchman. He's been sending us. He probably is unaware that we are not, that we're suspended right now on our main channel. But the Flying Dutchman has been sending us live coverage that is on several YouTube channels. Carlos can only appreciate it because it's in Dutch. So I can't understand everything that they're saying, but that's because I'm an ignorant American. But we still support them anyway. So the Dutch government sends in military trucks and military gear as farmers plan the biggest demonstration yet after government closes 3,000 farms due to global warming. Thousands of farmers are expected to drive tractors to The Hague, Netherlands. It was really awesome. There was lots of live YouTube footage for that, of them driving to The Hague.
That's awesome.
That was this morning to oppose the government's plan to shut down 3,000 farms. The government made the move to comply with global warming goals despite a heavy vehicle ban the day before. It can be recalled that the Dutch government is planning to buy and close down up to 3,000 farms near environmentally sensitive areas to be in compliance with EU environmental rules of the nitrate emissions reduction plan. Thousands of farmers and climate activist groups, Extinction Rebellion, will hold a rally in The Hague, Netherlands on Saturday the 11th, according to Swedish journalist Peter Emanuelsson. This will be the biggest demonstration yet. Tomorrow, the farmers are planning the biggest demonstration yet. Netherlands is planning on forcing 3,000 farmers to sell their land to the state, a land grab. 100,000 people are expected to show up. And according to the videos that I saw, there was an enormous, there was definitely 100,000 people there. There was thousands of tractors.
Really?
I mean, really big, sweet, expensive tractors.
Wow.
Today is going to be massive in the Netherlands. Thousands and thousands of farmers are making their way to The Hague right now. The Dutch government plans on seizing 3,000 farms to meet climate goals. Farmers are saying no today. In this article on the Gateway Pundit, there was lots of Twitter feeds. There was an enormous amount of coverage on this online with the live feed coverage. And the other really insane, bizarre thing was the military response. Military trucks arriving in the Netherlands. There was a very large military presence, even though they know there has never been any kind of violence associated. You know, the farmers have protested in the past, and there's never been any violence from the farmers. There was violence from the Popo, who shot at the 17-year-old kid in a tractor. On Monday, the mayor...
that's what they did in the, that's kind of how they ended the whole trucker convoy in California. They just got the military involved and kind of were able to...
threaten people, harm them with violence, right? On Monday, the mayor of The Hague threatened to use military gear to stop rival climate and farmer protests. Mayor Jan van Zanen of The Hague said he could indeed authorize the use of military equipment to remove blockades or tractors in his city on March 11th. On that date, the upcoming Saturday, both climate activists and farmers are set to demonstrate in the Zuid-Holland city. I'm not going to rule out the possibility that defense equipment will be deployed, and it absolutely was. That is available if necessary, he said in an interview with The Telegraph. He has also asked police forces elsewhere in the country to provide officers to assist. We cannot handle this alone, Van Zanen told The Telegraph, also to ensure that the demonstrations are safe. And they have to have some type of military, paramilitary response because it makes the protest look that much more dubious and much more violent by developing those optics and having this military or paramilitary response. It makes the actual peaceful protesters look much more ominous when all these ultra SWAT guys swatted out in gear, are standing there with shields and all this stuff while they peacefully protest and like, hey, don't steal our stuff and don't try to destroy all our food. I mean, that's kind of like the concept of the protest that's going on here. Stop taking our land, stop stealing our stuff, and stop trying to destroy our ability to grow food for ourselves.
Yeah.
Farmers organization Farmer Defense Force hopes to attract 100,000 people for a demonstration in the Zuider Park in The Hague next Saturday. Climate activists from Extinction Rebellion also plan to block the A12 motorway near The Hague again that day. And at the same time, construction of tents for the for the City Pier City Half Marathon race will also be underway. The annual race is scheduled for Sunday, starting. Oh, wow. So there's going to be lots of Ray Epps there. That's funny, DR. Van Zanen says he will not consider banning any of the planned demonstration for the time being. Oh, thanks. Thanks for not banning the protest. Yeah, you're a real beacon of democracy. He called on those demonstrating to ensure that they can cherish a great right that forces him to be radically neutral. But there are limits, he said. Blocking a road indefinitely with people or equipment is not an acceptable way of demonstrating, but a blockade, he told the newspaper. I think that's a disruption to public order. So there you go. He's not going to let you block the road.
Yep.
And, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, don't block other people that are just trying to work and do different things like that. I mean, I think that's fair. But sometimes people don't pay attention and people don't listen.
Were we going to talk about the U.S. cattle
Oh,
prices
and
too?
hey, while we're on the topic, and since we got a couple minutes here, since this is also food related and affecting the infrastructure, this hits home here in the U.S. As we continue to watch. This is an international attack on the global food system, as the Netherlands is a quite the breadbasket for the EU, as well as the Ukraine, as we know this proxy war is going on. But here in the U.S., U.S. cattle prices hit 9-year high as national herds drops to a half-century low. Now, we've been talking about this and warning about this, and everybody knew that this was coming. Texas saw a long drought in which it forced the liquidation of a lot of people's herds. We knew that this was coming, and we also knew that it was coming in 2023. This is going to trickle over and be even worse in 2024. If you've been to your local butcher or checked out the meat section in a supermarket, you're aware that beef prices are still high, and in some instances are continuing to rise. Due to the continued scarcity of beef cattle supplies, there appears to be no relief in sight, and as a result, cash markets have risen this week to $165 per 100 pounds, the highest level since the record peak of 2014. At this point, 9 years ago, and I believe that 2014 peak was a derivative from a 2011 drought that dramatically impacted. I know here in the South, cattle herds, many ranchers were wiped out in 2011.
Yeah.
And that final peak didn't fully come to fruition and trickle
Till
up
14.
until 14.
Wow.
So that's how this kind of stuff works. So last year's implications in 2022, potentially this could be a 3 or 4 year swing. If they don't systematically destroy our food infrastructure in the process or in that, the next 3 or 4 years. At this point, 9 years ago, ranchers resorted to reducing their herds to combat the high feed prices and drought. As we noted the other day, Americans need to be prepared to eat a lot less beef because the size of the national cattle herd is steadily shrinking. And one way to combat that is to grow your own cows and raise a couple of cows. That's what we decided to do. And
Pretty cost effective.
it's cost effective. Nowadays it's real cost
Yeah,
effective as the price
it's a
continues to
no-brainer
skyrocket.
if you have the land.
Yeah, if you have the dirt and if you have the ability to feed these animals. As we noted the other day, Americans need to be prepared to eat a lot less beef. According to the latest report from the USDA, the number of beef cows in this country has fallen to the lowest level since 1962.
Whoa.
That is amazing. Don Roos, the founder of U.S. Commodities, a grain and livestock investment management firm, recently warned we're still in the contraction phase. It takes a long time to build a herd back up again, meaning beef prices at the supermarket might go much higher until demand destruction hits. However, there's some good news. Global food prices have slid for the 11th consecutive month, and it gets better. Wholesale egg prices collapsed in early February. The ongoing supply woes could result in a potential continuation of the rise in beef prices, unleashing an affordability crisis in meat. It's important to remember unelected officials on a global scale are attempting to reshape diets. Here we see a clip from the World Economic Forum, 5 reasons why eating bugs could reduce climate change. Isn't that exciting? Yummy. Oh, and Bloomberg, here you go. Inflation stings. Most of you earn less than $300,000. Here's how to deal. Try lentils. Eat beans instead of meat. Oh, thanks, Bloomberg.
Take the bus.
Yeah, let's
Don't
take the bus.
buy in bulk.
Don't buy in bulk. Don't prepare. Don't buy in bulk to save. Don't buy in bulk.
Nobody said
how
this
does
would
that
be fun.
Oh,
that's one
man.
of them.
Thanks, Bloomberg. And that's why I don't read Bloomberg.
Wow.
So, the most practical step to avoiding eating insects is to become your own producer of food or buy local. So there you
Very
go.
True.
There's some more food news for you. So they're attacking food production in the Netherlands.
Yep.
They're attacking food production here, blaming it on climate change, blaming global warming on cow farts and on us useless eaters because we are the CO2, y'all.
Exactly.
And with that being said, this is a value for value proposition. And if you like what we're doing here, please check us out over at the texasboys.com. We have lots of great merch where you can make a statement. We have delicious food. We have vaccine-free organic honey. All of the Food Forest in a Box and Food 401k items and cuttings will be being turned off because our food forest is at full blast.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing some videos updating you on the status of the food forest. But please go out, check us out. You got anything, Matt, that you want to interject there?
No, but also we're going to have some, Buddy's been getting pretty creative with...
more Leatherworks?
Yeah, with more Leatherworks. He's been learning so much with leather, and we bought him a leather sewing machine, so I think he's going to be adding some more leather products over there. But for everybody that has bought some products from us, just wanted to say thank you, especially going through these more tougher times with being kicked off YouTube and things like that. It definitely helps with all y'all's support, so we want to thank y'all. Also, remember we are going live at 6:30. We're going to be multi-streaming, so on Rumble and here again
on the backup channel.
That's going to be the CBDC article.
Yeah, and I think we will be back posting on the main channel on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yep.
In the interim, if you hadn't had a chance to check out my interview over at Financial Prepper, check Chris out, Financial Prepper, on YouTube, and subscribe there. Lots of great information. Great people. We are already great friends, and we live close by. So looking forward to.
Oh,
getting
great!
to,
Carlos said his goji cuttings are doing good. That's
well,
awesome.
Good job, Carlos. We do still have honey. We just restocked all the honey.
Yeah.
So except for what almost sold out again.
Almost sold out again on the pumpkin spice honey.
Pumpkin spice honey. So there you go.
So when that one sells out, we won't have pumpkin spice honey till the fall. Sadly,
that's a seasonal deal.
It's a seasonal deal.
Y'all.
Sadly, but anyway, y'all.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be around, check us out in 15 minutes. We'll be going live again.
Yeah.
And talking about central bank digital currency. This is something that came up in me and Chris's conversation, and we think it's important, so we want to share it with y'all. Thanks for watching.